pull out from the ICC. Is this blackmail?
I don't think you can say it's blackmail, but it's a warning to the court to be able to abide by required standards of justice in terms of, African countries were not going to say to ICC we are going to pull out if the court had cooperated enough with the member countries. Remember, the challenge that ICC has with Africa, you remember when the treaty was being drafted, the UN was there. So there is a cooperation mechanism between the United Nations and the ICC. And in fact, if UN was to able to sit together and the UN Security Council was to make certain recommendations to the court, they would listen to it. Unfortunately, the AU was not in a strong position during the negotiation to be able to negotiate cooperation mechanism between the court and the regional courts. So the struggle that AU has at the moment is bringing an institution that was not as vocal during the negotiation to be able to have a say. And really you can understand why the AU is frustrated, because they have over 30 members out of 120, they have 122, they have over 32. That the court seems to be listening to non-governmental organizations and individuals from member states than actually the position of the court. I mean, it's on record, and I tabled yesterday in the Senate that the court listened to a report that came from Kenya Transitional Justice and Gladwell Otieno, but they've never reacted to any decision that came from the AU for the whole that period.
All right, Senator, so there is frustration, and this frustration has now seen the African Union saying they want these cases referred back to Kenya.
Yes.
Realistically, if these cases are brought back to Kenya, you have the head of state and his deputy.
Yeah.
Do you realistically expect them to go to court and have justice in their own country?
I believe that our judicial system has come of age. I believe also that the president and the deputy, when they were elected, went through the Supreme Court process and they got justice, and the decision would have gone otherwise in terms of that decision. If we cannot trust the courts to be able to take to make a decision on such a matter, how shall we be trusting them to continue making decisions for Kenya in future? Remember that this is a complementary court, which means that the countries that have strong legal mechanism, local judicial mechanism, do not need to have the international court. The objective here is that our constitution, if we believe in our constitution, says that all are equal before the law. So basically, I see two ways. One, referral in terms of bringing it to the local courts. Two, a referral that will require that we establish a tribunal, a mechanism that we will have a quasi-international tribunal that basically will be composed by of local jurists and also foreign jurists to be able to look at the matter. I look at it also in the request that was made by the president that it would be also a referral of the ICC cases being tried in Kenya by ICC judges, so that then it will become convenient for the president and the deputy to be able to continue performing their functions and attend the court.
All right. During campaigns just before the general election, both the president and the deputy president said this was a personal problem.
Yeah.
Senator, at what point did it become a continental problem?
Personally, I have had personal discussions with the deputy president and the president. And when you raise to them the issues of ICC, they tell you, no, forget about that. Our lawyers will handle that. That's not, we will deal with it. But you see, that's how they look at it themselves, maybe in their humility or how they focus. But we cannot forget the fact that they are a national property. Their position is beyond, even if the president today wanted to do certain things, he cannot do them because he's a president. He carries the collective wishes of the people of Kenya. Now, once a president or a head of state is an entity in international law, and therefore, as an African Union, they cannot run away from the fact that one of that entity or object of international law is facing challenges, international.
All right, let me bring you back home finally before I let you go. Under international law, Kenya would still be required to cooperate with the International Criminal Court on obligations that arose while Kenya was still party to the Rome Statute.
Yes.
Do we still expect the country to cooperate with the ICC?
Absolutely. I mean, it is only in the best interest of the president, the deputy, and Arab Sang to continue cooperating, because the statute was drafted, and rightly so, in such a manner that once the case has started, you cannot just pull midstream. Otherwise, countries would have taken advantage of that process to end particular decisions. So it's okay that, even if we are pulling out of ICC, it's important that we continue cooperating for purpose of bringing these cases to an end. Remember that the President, the Deputy, Arab Sang, and we have seen it, believe strongly that these cases are mere charade. I mean, there is nothing really that can hold water, and they believe that at the far end they will be they will be vindicated. That is why they wanted the court, the ICC judges, to be closer to them, so that it doesn't deny them the opportunity to continue serving Kenyans.
All right, Kipchumba Murkomen, Senator Elgeyo Marakwet, thank you so much for speaking to us. We have been speaking to Kipchumba Murkomen, Senator Elgeyo Marakwet. We have been looking at the whole issue of the International Criminal Court and the fact that the African Union is now threatening the International Criminal Court with mass pullout from the Rome Statute.